Hey, namaskaram everyone. This is Shourab back again with a new video, and this video is going to be a little bit different from my previous videos because for the first time I'm starting React related topics on my YouTube channel, and especially in this video we are going to focus on one of React's meta frameworks that are available on the market, which is also known as React Router Framework Mode in version 7. So people also call it as the successor of Remix.js, and for your kind of information, let me tell you that the Remix.js was also maintained by React Router previously. So without talking too much, let's get started. If you want to make applications that are SEO friendly and you want server-side rendering things in your applications, then these full stack frameworks are quite helpful in these cases. There are two kinds of, especially two full stack frameworks that are revolving around React.js. The first one is quite hot nowadays on the internet and in startups, and that is Next.js, and the second one is React Router v7, especially the framework mode. So in this video we're gonna cover and make this video on this React Router v7. So if you want to install this React Router v7 or not kind of install, if you want to create a project with this, you just need to copy this npx command, and I have already created a directory on my desktop, and I want my VS Code to open up this folder so that I can create the project inside this folder. So I have opened up the folder or directory with my VS Code, and I'm going to open up a new terminal, integrated terminal of the VS Code, and following this npx command I need to name the application. In this case, let's keep it simple, my app. And it will take a little bit of time, and it will ask you few questions. For the first time, it is asking us that if we want the git initialization or not. I want it, and it is asking if you want to install all the dependencies using npm. Yes, I want it. So it may take a little bit of time. Meanwhile, let's see what Remix sorry, my bad, not Remix, React Router is offering us. So after installation, we can see routing is here. This routing is one of the confusing things currently, and to be honest, the documentation itself is very confusing, but don't worry, I'm here, I will simplify it for you. So I guess it's still installing all of the things. So here we can actually see how we can configure the URLs. I mean the routes. Okay, framework routes. The web app routes can be handled inside this routes.ts, and yeah, it is installed. So now I want to open up this my newly created app folder in VS Code. So let's drag and drop it inside the VS Code itself, and it's going to reopen it with my app. So here you can see my app. Under my app we have a folder or directory called app. Sorry. So here we have the routes folder, I mean the file, routes file, where all of the routes will be registered, and there is another folder called routes, where we need to see I think it's going to, so let's run it, npm run dev. So right after, if you see any kind of errors, it will be gone after running npm run dev. Okay, So there is another problem. If you are encountering this problem, don't worry, just come here, and if you see this thing, just copy this line of code and paste it instead of base URL. It is a simple warning, okay, nothing that much important. Fine. So first of all, I'm just going to remove this thing and come with hello world. Fine. I'm going to get rid of this welcome folder and this import as well. Yeah, and let's come here and open up the localhost. Okay, fine. I'm just going to reopen it, relaunch it with npm run dev, and you can see the hello world is here. So this is the routes folder where we are going to create our routes for different pages, and we need to register them inside this URLs as well. Okay, this is kind of the URL config or routes config where the routes components are going to be registered. Fine. So I also want to notify you that initially this React Router v7 is going to generate and use Tailwind, but in this case, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to use get bootstrap. So I'm going to open up get bootstrap and I will use CDN links. So here you can see the CSS CDN link can be found here. I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to integrate it with my links style sheet in root.tsx. This root.tsx is going to be responsible for rendering all the childrens, and these childrens are nothing but the components that are going to be created in the routes folder. So here I just need to add another style sheet, as we are going to add the CDN of CSS of bootstrap. Yes, it is done, and then we need to preload another CDN which is the bootstrap JavaScript file, and it should be identified as a script. The same thing need to be followed for the popper.js. Preload and its ref for the popper.js, and as going to be script. Let's find out the popper.js, and here's the popper.main.js. we just need to copy this, right? We just need to copy this, and oops, my bad. Yeah, well, so right after this you can see a dramatic change. All the bootstrap stylings are visible here. Let's remove all of it. We want a new folder called components under the app directory components, where in the components I want a neighbor.tsx, and here I want to generate a React functional component called neighbor. And the reason we have integrated or using bootstrap in this crash course is just to avoid the styling things and left all of the heavy tasks of styling on the bootstrap. So we are going to use one of its built-in neighbors, and you're not gonna use any fancy one, instead a really simple one. So right after doing this, you can see that the class names are actually giving us warnings, because class is a property of JSX and JavaScript that's conflicting. So it is asking us to rename it as class name. So I'm just going to identify all the class and convert it into class name with camel case. I'm going to select all of it and convert it to class name. You can see all of the errors are gone now. This React import is not required anymore. We can render this navbar.tsx in our root.tsx on top of the children where all the routes components are going to be rendered, so that this navbar is going to be a common component for every routes. And thanks for the auto completion and importing of VS Code. So if you see and come here, that there is a nice navigation bar visible here. Now let's focus on the routes.ts to register our new routes here. The components are really simple, a chunk of codes that need to be reused in our entire application. And in the routes folder, we just need to create the components that are going to be behave as routes. For example, about.tsx. It is going to be a React functional component, the name of about, and how we can access it. To access this, we need to register it in our routes.tsx, and this can be found by register by route itself in this array, and this route will take the path. It's like about, and the second parameter will be the location of this component, route component, which is about under inside the routes. Okay, so I just need to give the path of it, about.tsx. Fine. Now if you come here and place the about, here you can see the about page is visible. And if you want to add it in the navbar, that is the exact thing I'm going to do here now in this part. So instead home, after home, let's register the about, and we need some components from React router. So we want import from React router, that is called navlink. Yes, navlink. Instead of using a tag, we are going to use navlink, and we will replace hrefs2 and the route itself that we have registered inside our routes.ts called /about, and here you can see it is visible here. Now let's little bit deep dive into this framework. So I want to get back, so home need to be treated as same navlink and convert it to, and all this slash is going to be represented as the main root page. So if you click on it, here you can see it's hello world now. That's really nice. So this index is going to tell the configuration that this home.tsx that is located under the routes folder or directory is going to be represented as the index or main page of our application. Fine. So now let's see something little different, which is nested routing. So nested routing is simple. We need route itself, then the dashboard. Let's say it's dashboard. Oops, my bad. Dashboard, and this dashboard followed by this, we need the component actually. Okay, so this is going to be dashboard.tsx, where we need the functional component called dashboard. So this dashboard will take the other outputs. For example, this is the let's call it as dashboard header, and it will take all its dashboard's children into it. So it will take outlet. This outlet is going to create a placeholder where all the children's of dashboard will be rendered inside this outlet. So routes dashboard dot tsx is going to be here as the parent component. Okay, and this slash dashboard is going to be prefixed every time under the before the children's routes. Okay, so here we need not route, it's route. So there need to be a profile, I guess. Yeah, profile. Okay, and this profile will take, this URL will take another route component called profile.tsx, another React functional component, and we need to register it here. Profile.tsx, and this dashboard profile, these can be found here. If you come here and give dashboard, then it's not going to give us anything. Okay, so but if you use profile, it's also not going to give us anything, because there need a apps actually index file where I think this profile should be go. Let's place it here. Okay, now this dashboard is meaningful. Dashboard header and the profile, that's quite interesting. Now let's say we want another component called contact.tsx. That is the main hassle contact. Okay, this contact, well, so this contact will be registered here as route under the dashboard contact / contact.tsx. Fine. So now if you come here after the dashboard, if you use contact, there is nothing actually. Fine, it's not valid child. Why? Because I think this thing need to be removed, and here you go, we have contact. So this is the nested routing, but let's say this profile want some dynamic parameters. How you can do it? There are actually two ways of doing it. If you have this URL, you can pass it here ID, and but as this is profile is asking that ID, and in this index function you don't have the way to register any route thing, okay, the path. So what you can do, as users need to use your basic common sense. So this index is going to be placed at this route. Okay, here you can see if you remove this contact, if you hit the route called dashboard, this profile is actually rendering. So we can add a here ID, okay, so that we can do a lot of things, actually not a lot of things, so that we can actually get the ID of, like, let's say this ID is 1, so we will get the ID. Okay, so how we can do it? In the profiles, we need to go inside these profiles, and we need a loader here. Export async function loader, and this params will be here, but it will have some types as well, like route, and this route will come from the types profile, and it will have the loader arguments, and it has the params, and this params has ID, I guess. Okay, this ID is not visible yet now. So what else we can do? Yeah, there is a little bit of mistakes. We need as the ID is also separate, so we need to do a slashing thing before that that expression. Now this ID is available here, and this ID can be further returned from here. Return ID, and if you want this, okay, so this is a little bit confusing. So this loader, by exporting it, it will be automatically accessible inside this component. Okay, you don't need to call this loader function anywhere. It will just automatically do its thing under the hood. To access it, you need to get it from routes prop, so route dot component props, and you will have loader data. This loader data will actually get this ID. So if you deconstruct it with loader data, and it will have the ID as well, and now you can render profile ID here. So if you reload it, you can see the profile ID is visible here. Okay, so there is another thing how we can actually change this meta. So it is also quite simple. Just export async function and call it meta, and you will get two things here. You just need to give its proper types, which is route dot meta args, and you have params access as well, but we don't need params right now. Let's say you have already get the ID from the params in the loader function, and you have fetched the user details from the server or external APIs using this ID, returning it to the component. So you don't want to get the details from the server again from the external API. Instead, just call it once and fetch that information using this ID and reuse it everywhere. That is what we want here. So loader data can be also found here. So right after fetching it from the loader function, you can also have the access thing. You can access it from this meta as well. So it will return a bunch of things. For example, like this. I'm just going to copy it. Just going to copy this thing, this part, and place it here. And instead, title, I'm just going to call my app, and paste it dynamically loader data dot ID. So if you come here now and reload it, you can see, oops, array, right? It should return a array, and it was returning actually. I think we need to reconstruct it. Const something from here, loaded data ID, and this ID can be found here. Again, array, the route at identified returns invalid value. Okay, so it's telling that we are returning invalid value. So how we can pass it to string, I guess. Yeah, no, to a string is also not working. What else we can do? Okay, let's go to the React router route model, where we have where we have meta. In this meta, we can return this. Fine, we can return this literally. So if you rerun it now, it's not returning anything. That's quite weird. Yeah, it's quite weird now. So let me see what is happening here. I guess let's see what we are actually missing. Well, I think this async is not required here. Yeah, that async is not required here. So all the things were correct. We just don't need any async here. So if you run it now, here you can see my app 1. This is the dynamic title that you can use here. So I didn't cut this part just because I want to tell you that I also get stuck into problems, and I also need to get over from there. Okay, so you have learned how loader arcs and these things arcs, okay, and dynamic routes arcs as well at the same time. So now we want to tell you what prefix arcs. Okay, so let's say I want two things. Well, this is nested route, and I want a prefix of, I guess, a layout. Okay, so let's create a layouts folder where I want a auth-layout.tsx rfce and auth layout. Fine, and this is going to be a layout thing here. So auth layout, and I want a outlet to render all of its child. In routes, let's create a login.tsx, and in routes, let's create a layout route. So you just need to remember that in the layout route, it's not going to change any URL pattern. Okay, so it actually requires the layout file that we have recently created under the layouts folder called auth-layout.tsx, and secondly it will take the childs, and this childs will actually set up the routes. For example, login is going to be the route. Okay, so unlike the nested routes, we are not going to mention any parent route here. Okay, it's just going to give us a simple layout without any extra URL pattern. Okay, so in routes we have login.tsx, and if you come here in the components, can login, so instead a nav link, and we're gonna replace href to login. Fine. So if you click on login, well, we are getting some errors. Yes, we are getting errors. What kind of errors are this? Okay, so in login.tsx we don't have anything, that is why it's giving us error login. So if you reload it now, here you can see the login and with auth layout, but we didn't add any extra routes unlike dashboard. Fine. So now let's add a simple form, and this form is also going to come from React Router, and we want a input called email, and let's give it an ID email, and a password input type password, name is going to be password. Okay, so name is going to be password as well, and a button with submit. Yeah, here you can see all over here. This button records the name, login. That's nice. So we want a method of post so that this URL kind of things are not going to be happen again and again. Oops, my bad. Yeah, method not allowed. So how this action works? So we want to create another export async function. Oops, my bad. Async function called action. This is server action. Okay, so I want to remove it and get a route from the types login and its action args. Yeah, nice thing. And it will give us a request from where we can actually get the values of this email and password. Okay, so const form data, let's keep it inside it. So request dot form data, and we can await it. Now what else we can do? We want const email is going to be form data dot get email. Why email? Because we named this input type email is email. Okay, this name is going to be represented here as a string. Const password, my bad, form password is going to be form data dot get password as a string. That's quite nice, and we can return it as well. So if you don't know from where I'm getting this, just come here, and here is the data loading part. Here is the action part. In actions, I'm using server actions, so here all of the things are happening. Quite nice. So I am passing the email and password, to the front end, and you can actually write your own logic here. So how we can access these returns? So in these components, we need route dot component props. Here we have action data, and also loader data can be accessible if you are using action and export async function loader at the same time. But in this case, I'm just using action data, and that's why the requirement of loader data is not required here. That is why I'm not using it. Okay, so let's deconstruct this action data, and it will give us email, I guess. Really, it will give us email. Action data. What is the problem, man? I think, yeah, it's async. Okay, export async action. All things are okay. The projects, it is returning this action data dot email and password. Okay, so it's there, but why it's not working? Action data email and password. Okay, so this is not working because it's returning a little bit later. So I think we can show the message here. If the action data is available, then we can show a p tag with action data dot email. Yeah, I think it can be a little bit okay. So s@s.com and a simple password, and s.com is rendered here. Fine. So what else we can do? We can add a submitting thing. So to do that, I can use navigation, and this will take a use navigation. Yeah, use navigation, and let's give it a const is submitting. It's going to be boolean. Okay, so navigation dot state, if it is equal to submitting, then this login can be also dynamic. So if it is submitting, then logging in, else login. Okay, so if we come here s@s.com and something like this, it's not going to reflect because it's really fast. So what else we can do? We can make an artificial delay, delay here. So how we can do it? Await promise dot resolve a day of set timeout of 200 with a I guess this is going to work. No. So yeah, promise dot resolve a promise set timeout yeah, how we can do a artificial delay? I just forgot about it. JS can add promise resolve. Okay, so this can be used here to make an artificial delay 2 seconds. So if you just rerun it now, here you can see logging in. After 2 seconds it's login. Okay, and it should not return. That's why we are not getting this returned value. Now if you run it, here you can see it's working, and it required a await, so that it's wait there. Okay, so s@theredoffice.com and something here, logging in. After 2 seconds the returned value can be seen here. Well, that is nice. Now what do we want? You may want something like authentication. Yes, that is also possible. How we can do it? If you go to the documentation of React Router, and if you scroll down a little bit, here you can see a sessions and cookies is available, and it is recommending that you need to create a sessions.server.ts under the app directory. So let's create it. Sessions dot, what was that? Sessions.server.ts, because the server is actually giving us the hint or primitive that it is only accessible by servers. Okay, so it is actually nothing else, just copy pasting things. Okay, so we have imported a create cookie session storage from React Router. Then these two things are really interesting. You need to understand it. Okay, you need to create two types. That is the type where you need to actually give the value. Okay, it will be much more easy if you see it here. Okay, you just need to copy this entire thing. Okay, just copy this. These are the things that are going to be responsible for creating a cookie for you, destroying and commenting cookies for you. Okay, so if you want to encrypt some data, based on that data, decrypted data, you want to verify that it's whether it's logged in or not, that is the data is going to be typed as. Okay, so this save thing, it can be email for me now. Okay, well, so now what you need to do, just login form. Here we have these two things. Okay, we can open up our layouts in the loader. Sorry, not loader, login. I need to import that things to directory back server. Okay, sessions.server. We want get session and commit session, these two things. Fine. Okay, sorry. So what else we need? We need the session. Okay, first we need to get the session. Sorry for my voice. Const session, we need get session, and this get session will take from request dot headers dot get cookie. Fine, this cookie. And what we need, let's say we need to session dot, I guess it should be commit session. How we can do it? Let's say this redirect thing. Okay, so this redirect thing need to be done here. So the session dot set, and it will take the email. Okay, so the email, because why it's asking email, because in the session data we have give the name that email is required here to encrypt it. So email Okay, so what was that? It's the name, email, and email. Okay, so yeah, that is it. Well done. Okay, now what I need, we need a redirect function. So to redirect it, instead returning something from here, we need a return redirect, and this redirect function can be found inside this React router. Oops, my bad. We found in redirect. Redirect is actually found in, yeah, React router. Yeah, redirect is here. Redirect is here. The URL is login. Oops, my bad. Yeah, no, it should be at home. Login. Sorry, at home, and then it should have headers, and this header will have set cookie, I guess. Right? Yeah, set cookie and commit session. Just copy and pasting things are going to be here. Well, so yeah, we need add await. Yeah, I think this session, if you add await here, then we don't need this much things. Okay, so this await is also not required here anymore. Fine. So now what I need, well, so what else we can do? We are getting an error. We don't need this anymore. Let's say we are creating a email asr.is.com with the password is, and it's running, and this session is getting us the error. Set session. Okay, where it is 16 to 19. So where is 16? Well, it requires a reload. Fine, it requires a reload. So asr.is.com, and if you run it, yeah, it should go to the home page as it's here. Okay, now there we need a loader function too. Export async function loader. Why loader? Because I don't want my users to manually come to this login page after logging in. Okay, so if he's logged in, then he should not access to this particular page, which is login. Okay, so route dot loader args, and it has request, and we will get session equal to await get session request dot where it was headers dot, I guess, yeah, headers dot get cookie, and if this cookie is here, let's see the documentation. If this cookie is here, okay, cookie has this thing. Okay, if this session dot session has email, then you should redirect to home page. home page. Why home page? Just because you are already logged in, right? And if you are not logged in, so redirect to the home page if you are logged in. If you are not logged in, then it will return some errors. These errors can be returned by data, and yeah, this data, return data, and this data. First of all, this data will take the item. In this case, the item is the error. Session dot get the error. Okay, yeah, error. And the second thing is what it will take, the headers thing with comment session. Fine. Well, so if you now if you manually try to go to the login, okay, so it requires it. Well, so you need a loader data as well. Yeah, in it we need a loader data so that it can return us. It's not returning, so let's see what we have here. Console.log sessions. If you see session, okay, the action the comment session has session data, right? Are we doing things right? s.com s, yeah, if you come here, it's coming. There might be some errors. Let's see. Session ID, yeah, it is not working. Why it is not working? I don't know. We need to fix it out. Well, so yeah, this is the loader, and this is the comment session. A little bit confusing actually. The headers login, set cookie, yeah, okay. And the action, well, I think we need a reload because we were not using it. Fine. If you come here, it's working. The server is not working actually. So the email is here. Yeah, we got it. We don't need this domain. So if we come here now, yes, s.com, and s should return. Yeah, this session is now available, and we cannot go to the login. So see, we cannot go to the login. If you remove all the cookies, now if you come here we can see we are getting there, right? That's quite interesting. So now we want a logout thing as well. So how we can do it? So simply just create another route called logout.tsx and RFC for creating React functional component and name it as logout. Fine, just logout, nothing else. We want a exporting async function called action, and here we want request from route dot, not this route, we want route from the logout, right? This logout is not going to be available here for now. How we can get it? Just simply come here. Sorry for my background noises. I want the register that login, sorry, logout here, logout, and routes slash logout dot tsx, and now it's going to be available here. Route from logout, yeah, dot action args. Fine. So we want import few things from our session server. That is, the first one is get session, and the second one is destroy session. Yes, so let's get the session. I'll do await get session, and this get session will take from request dot headers dot get cookie. Okay, so if it has cookie, now let's say we have this, if the session is here, then we will proceed further to logout system. Okay, how to log out? Let's come here in the logging out thing. We have this redirect thing, right? Set cookie with redirect, right? So fine, let's redirect it directly. So return redirect. Okay, redirect is importing from React router redirect, and it should be go to the login, and the second parameter it will come with headers and set cookie await destroy session. It's going to be session. Okay, yeah. So now how we can actually do it? Simply come here in the logout, just to test it here, button with a form. From this form is a component coming from importing from React router, and this button, let's place it here, logout, and this form is going to have the method of post, right? And this button is going to be specified as submit. Yeah, submit. So if you come here and reload it, it should arc. Login is arcing quite nicely. So let's come here as @ of s.com and it's going to redirect us to the hello world, the home page. If you come here, it's not going to work. So if you go to the logout here, after logging out, here you can see it's redirected to login. So now I want another thing, loader. Oops, not loader, it's log out. As I am now logged out user, so as a logged out user, I should not see this logout, should not visit this logout link. Okay, so or the logout route. Okay, I should not access it. How we can block it? Simply we wanna export async loader async. Okay, so async function loader, and here we want route dot loader arguments, the request const session is going to have get session, and we want request, oops, my bad, request dot headers dot get cookie, and it will be asynchronous, so it need awaited if the session has email, as not email, oops, no, my bad, it's not email, then it should return redirect to login with headers, header with set cookie, await commit session, fine, yeah, else return. Well, so now as I am logged out, so if we come here log out, it's not going to give us the access. Fine. So what else we can do? Just simply copy this part in the navigation bar, which is in components navbar. Instead this, I'm just going to place this form and import this form from React Router and log out. Fine. So to get this logout, there is nothing. So I want s@s.com s. So here it's logging, and we should not get. And if we go to the logout, here you can see we are getting this, but clicking on it, it's not going to logging us out. So how we can fix it? Just simply do an action /logout. It's going to log out from there. Here I go. So that was a very nice crash course, but in the navbar, I guess we can also get the session here to hide or hide this thing. Okay, so how we can do it? Simply come here, the session server, get session. Fine, this is the get session. So yes, it requires something, so export async function loader, I guess. I don't know it's going to work or not. Let's try it out. Route dot, no, it's not going to work here. Fine. So I guess we will have something interesting later on. So yeah, that was a quick tutorial on React Router v7, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have learned something from this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe this channel, and make sure to share this video with your friends. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye. Namaskar.